on the shore, Élysée, as I was walking.
We kind of want to do these music videos. We've been doing music videos for a while, but we weren't in them, and then kind of everyone started doing that. So we didn't want it to be just another performance video. We wanted to do something unique. So somehow we had all these different directors come up. They sent us links to the videos they had done, and Samad had done a video for a band called Deus. The video was so just quirky and odd, but it was great. We loved the style. Anyway, we picked him, and he came up with the concept. We went out to LA, and the band's featured very little in it, but it kind of just became this trilogy thing, you know, want to do. And you got Brett Easton Ellis to come do some voiceover for it. This video did the same thing. So I didn't really get it, if I'm dead honest. I didn't get it at all. I liked it. I didn't know. I really liked what it was, but as far as I had to do with the song and everything, I didn't understand. I don't understand either of the videos, if I'm honest. You know, he's a really fun guy to work with. We wanted to do something unique and different. And yeah, that's all I can really say about that, I suppose.
Sorrow and my pain, a feeling so.
They can complete the package in a sense. You know, we have the songs, but we love a good presentation. You know, Brian and Steph, like I said earlier about being very theatrical, love a good presentation, and it's important to the fans as well nowadays because, you know, people aren't making as much money as they were. Records are getting more expensive, and I think it's a way as well to kind of give them the extra. You know, here's some tracks, but also here's this and here's this. Thanks for buying the record. Here's this, here's this. It's a package nowadays. You know, you get all this, and then you come to the gig and you get the lights and you get the visuals and you get the sound. You know, we rehearse constantly, so it's, you know, we're dead tight. We want to put on the best show possible, give you the best package possible, give you the best record, etc. It means a lot to us, you know.
Love on a cloud to see the birth of all that isn't now.
Brian's voice is very specific, and I think there's a red line that kind of goes through each of the albums, connecting them all. But none of them sound exactly the same. There's so many bands that can do the same sound with every record, and it works. Some it doesn't. But that's what's good about the band. I think we'll be able to make records forever, like, because of that. Because it's always like, what did we do last time? Let's do something different this time. I think it's a very rewarding process. You push hard enough against that wall, it'll come down. So I think that's kind of, over the years, the changes have been, you know, that. And obviously with personnel change, you know, your style's going to change. You know, third drummer, you know, brought in a completely different writing style, and so we work together differently. And yeah, it's good though.
Breathe, 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 believe.
But this one, Brian really took the reins of it. You know, before we kind of came in, like I had an idea. I wanted it to be really psychedelic, and Brian had the same idea. And we didn't discuss it with each other. We just both happened to have the same kind of idea. So when we came together, it was like, yeah, I think loads of colors and really like. He's like, cool. So he met up with this artist, and I forget his name. And he spent, I'm not sure if he spent like a whole week with him, and he spent some good time with him, kind of in his office. And this guy, he basically we kind of brought the concept, and the guy came up with all these different visuals and stuff. And then we get sent all the artwork, and we basically say, okay, we like this, we like this, we like this, we like this. And we kind of approve it all, and then put it together. And Brian's really hands-on with the artwork. You know, he really loves to get in there and get his hands dirty with that. He's got a good eye for it. He's really artistic. Like, Brian and Steph both are really intelligent, very good with art and theatre and stuff. You know, me, I'm a painter, and I love to paint, and I love stuff like that. But they're a bit more sophisticated with it than I am. Better education, I reckon. I think back in the 90s, you know, when it was a lot more taboo to be androgynistic and dress up like a woman and things like that. It wasn't so, you know, nowadays it's like, just like everybody else. But in those days, I think it was a really good point, you know. Stefan and Brian took a stand against homosexuality, homophobia, sorry. And basically wanted to sort of just mess with people's minds, you know. A lot of people would think Brian was a woman, and he would love that. He would love to sort of, you know, have these really macho guys, you know, think he was a woman, and find out, get close enough to him and talk to him, and find out he's a bloke. And he's like, you know, makes you think, doesn't it? And I think at those times it was really good. Nowadays, you know, it's just, you got to pick your battles, and you know, when you, especially as a public figure, when you go out there and start talking about this stuff, you bring a lot of attention to yourself, a lot of scrutiny, and you know, we nowadays I think just sort of leave it to Madonna and stuff to kind of make fools of themselves.
We are loud like love.
It's so difficult for bands nowadays, you know. I think ever since Napster started and illegal downloading everything started killing the industry, that made it so difficult. You know, people say things like, you know, I used to be really against Spotify, and I still kind of am. It still hasn't quite got it down, but music becoming free has put so many people out of a job, so many bands in the dirt, so many record stores in the dirt, so many labels in the dirt, that now young bands have to sign literally their lives away for one record. Before, you know, you would sign on for a couple records. You know, I think that it's really difficult for new bands to not get their music out, because the internet made it so you can get your music out anywhere, but to make a living out of it, to put food on the table, roof over your head, feed your kids, whatever. I think it's really difficult nowadays because of that. I think people need to start buying records again to keep that money going in there, so that way it can feed these young bands. It's kind of tough all around, you know. Bands are having a tour at double the time, and yeah, you know, it's one of them. You know, we're very fortunate that the band was formed when it was.
They're beautiful.